Welcome to What's Good with Gil and Larry. Happy New Year. It's a new year on us. It's 1/3/24. And today's show will be a special one, a great one. Once again, there's a lot of things we want to talk about. But first, I want to just get to the main subject, which was semifinals in football championship. We had two great games. I mean, in my opinion, it was if I wanted a semifinals to be, that's what I wanted it to be. Two games that came down to really last drive on both sides of it, and man, it was no argument. The top four teams played each other, in my opinion. That's what you get when you play the top four teams. This is what you're gonna get, The first one, man, Alabama, Michigan. Oh man, heck of a game. Heck of a game. Michigan, to their credit, did play a sloppy game. They played an uncharacteristic game. It was a lot of special teams mishaps. That was surprising. It was the special teams that kind of put them in binds. And then it comes down to the last play, Alabama, where it was just, I thought it was a bobble play. I don't think that was the play that they meant to call. I think the snap went low and he had to improvise, and unfortunately, it was one of those things where you hate to have your season end like that. So I could see the frustration in Milroe, because I know he knew that wasn't the play, but unfortunately, it is what it is, man. They bobbled the snap. I still thought it was a great game, competitive game. Obviously, Michigan showed me grit. They showed me what they're made of. That's championship ball. I thought once again Alabama had a number. For a minute, I thought Alabama had a number. I thought Saban just had Harbaugh's number, but once again, I think it goes back to what we was talking about, man. All the stuff that Michigan been through this year might really be their year to put the icing on the cake, man, in my opinion. And then I'll talk about the second game after we elaborate on this game. But what's your opinions on the game that that we saw the first game, which is Michigan versus Alabama?
Well, I got both picks right, although I was very wishy-washy on picking Michigan over Alabama. So I admit that I gave a very slight edge to Michigan in that game. They pulled it out. The score really did not tell the game.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan dominated this game. Michigan physically, especially the first half, manhandled Alabama. They could, I believe, the first 5 drop back passes for Alabama resulted in 4 sacks for Michigan. Yeah. They went after him. They were way too physical for Alabama, way too physical. But I think what happens is they go so long without playing. It's been a month since these teams have played in their last game. I just think you're not sharp. You're used to a rhythm every single week, and then you get out of that rhythm. You can practice as hard as you can practice. You and I both know it's a different speed. Things just get revved up a little quicker. Mm-hmm. The kids are going to make mistakes that the adults won't make. And you saw McCarthy do the interception on the first drive. I mean, he waited forever, and then he throws it to Alabama.
Yeah,
you see the punt get fumbled right away. But so I don't know if it was nerves, jitters, just not used to the big stage, or it seems like this happens with Michigan every year. That first playoff game, they just get off to a very bad start, uncharacteristic, and the teams take advantage of it.
That's a fact.
Georgia took advantage of it 2 years ago. Who was last year? TCU. They took advantage of it last year. Alabama was not real. I mean, they were leading the game early, but then Michigan cooled down. They set the tone. Then Alabama in the third took the lead again, but Michigan dominated. This game went exactly how Michigan could have hoped it would go. They just weren't taking advantage of their opportunities until late in the fourth, and then they were able to tie the game. And overtime happened, and I don't know how you feel about college overtime. I like the fact that both teams get the ball.
Yeah,
I don't like that it's a little bit cartoonish
It's
with each
cartoonish.
team getting the ball at the
At the, at
25.
the
I
25,
don't care.
that's like, come on, man. The 25-yard
Yeah.
line, I think it should be like the NFL, man. Honestly, if you get, you get the ball, you got to march it downfield. If you kick a field goal, the other team score a touchdown, they win. What are we playing, little kid ball, man? I never agree with that rule. Like that's some aspect out maybe tiny tot football. You put the little kids on the 25-yard line, and come on, man, these are top athletes. What are you talking about? Come on.
The overtime could be super long because when you're at the
It can
25,
be.
you're almost guaranteed at least 3 points.
Indeed. I mean, we have seen overtime games where they went 6, 7 overtimes because the offense kept scoring. Nobody could get them off the field. So yes, you're right. It's a long, drawn out process. Luckily, it didn't go that way that game. But I totally agree. And you're right. It was a defensive. They definitely defensively made their presence known. It was definitely physical. Definitely. I just thought, like you said, by them being off a month, I don't think the offense got into a rhythm. Until later. That's when I felt like the offense started to really kind of click. Especially that last drive, man. When they marched that thing downfield on that last drive before they're pushing it to OT, it was like it was clicking. It was clicking. But yeah, it was a great game. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was a great game. I thought it was a competitive game. And yeah, I think that the teams that are in the finals were clearly the best teams to me all year. They're undefeated. Can you say one conference is a little bit better? I believe that the Pac-12 this year was actually better. There's a lot more teams that were competitive. But when you're dealing with the Big Ten, man, you're dealing with defensive-minded teams also, though. So you guys kind of different style of play. Pac-12 has always been kind of mostly offensive type of teams. They'll put up points. Now you got defense. So now this is like the true test of who you think is going to win this final. Because now we talk about the second game, which was Washington and Texas, which I thought it was going to be a shootout. You play Washington, I expect a shootout, man, because they got a high-powered offense. Penix, to me, showed me what he. I'm not taking away from the Heisman, but man, he's put on that's Heisman caliber stuff he did on Saturday, bro. He put on the 400 plus yards, man. 400 plus yards, man. He looked like so comfortable in that offense. He showed me what he could do in that offense, man. It was a great game. Washington, man, they went touchdown for touchdown with Texas. Texas, hey, man, they should salute themselves, man. They played a hell of a game. It's crazy though. I'm looking at Texas, right, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm watching them, right, but then I'm thinking about Arch Manning. I'm thinking about Arch Manning because he signed with Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's there. He's to be a red shirt next year. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, you got Ewer, right? But you got Arch Manning in there. You know what I mean? It's weird. I know you're like, what does that got to do with that game? I'm just thinking about the future of Texas. I'm seeing a Manning legacy being rebuilt. You know what I mean? Because that's their nephew. That's their nephew.
That's Cooper's son. That's the oldest brother's
oldest brother.
son, Cooper.
Yeah, the one that wasn't a quarterback.
No,
yeah.
He was a wide receiver.
He was a wide receiver.
Got hurt.
Yup. But his son is supposed to be like, I think he's like #1 player coming out of high school. And Texas got him. So I'm just looking at that like for the future. I think Texas is going to be back to how we know Texas to be. I think Washington's had a dream year. It'd be great if they could ride off in the sunset and win this year because they were a true underdog. Nobody's seen Washington. You can't tell me that you saw Washington Huskies in the beginning of the year playing for a national championship. You'll be lying to me.
Nope.
You probably thought
I thought it would be Michigan and Georgia.
In Georgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't even
expect
nobody come out to Pac-12, to be honest. I didn't see the Pac-12 doing what they did this year. And I know there's a lot of hype with Deion Prime, Coach Prime, and all them. Really brought a lot of focus. And maybe that stepped up the level of competition when you have a guy like Prime in your conference where it made the team play like better. I don't know. Might have been a Deion effect. I don't know, man. But it's great to see. I believe two of the best teams that played all year play each other. It's for me, it's going to be a great game. I'm still leaning towards Michigan because I just think that it's what they've been through this year. And by Harbaugh beating Alabama, it's always that team that you just can't get over, And I think that was a team that he just couldn't figure out, right? I think Michigan's, man, defensively, man, if they could keep up with that Washington offense, 'cause I already know defensively that Washington's not going to be to stop them defensively because that's not what they do. So for me personally, I think I got Michigan winning, and if they do win, do I see a shootout? Probably more than likely it's going to be a high scoring game because once again, Washington defense is not going to stop Michigan. The question is, can Michigan prevent Washington from scoring? What's your opinion?
Well, this is definitely two contrasting styles. With Washington, you got the high-powered offense, in particular the passing game, where you have a quarterback and 3 wide receivers that will probably all be drafted this year, probably all be drafted kind of high.
Yeah.
You know, I think Penix is going to be first round. Maybe, listen, a lot can happen between now and then. We'll get into that. I'm thinking at worst he falls to the second round. At worst, but I think he's probably first round talent. Whether he goes first or not, who knows? You know, we thought Levis was going to go first round and he didn't.
Yeah.
So circumstances. Sometimes it's better to go early second round because you go to a team where you have the opportunity to start, and sometimes it's better to go late in a round where you're backing up a starter and you can learn for a couple years. It's your time to shine. So really, it's the individual situation. But like I was saying, Penix, 3 wide receivers. I think one of them is going to go top 10. I think Rome is probably the second best wide receiver. You know, maybe the kid from LSU, Napier, he might be number 3 because he's really fast, but polished, the complete wide receiver. I think he's number 2, only to Marvin Harrison Jr. So, and I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go top 10
for sure.
And for the teams that really want that top wide receiver and can't get up to Marvin Harrison, this is going to be a pretty good consolation prize. I'm just saying, pretty good.
Pretty good.
See, Michigan, the thing with Michigan is even if Washington's defense can't really, slow them down per se, Michigan is not a quick strike offense.
No, it's not.
They are a grind, beat you up. So in the fourth quarter, when your hands are on your hips and you're bending over on your knees, that's when they got you. They want every drive to be 6, 7, 8, 9 plays. They don't want 2 or 3 big plays in a drive, so they score in 3 or 4 plays. They don't want that. Yeah. They want you to die while you're trying to defend them. That's what they want. So again, two different styles. Washington is looking to strike early and often, big plays. Michigan wants to kick your ass on every play. That's what they want to do. I think Michigan is still the more complete team. I think they can slow down Washington enough.
Yeah.
I think when Michigan's on offense, they're going to be able to do whatever they want to Washington's defense. I think Washington will try and get into a shootout, but they're going to get slowed down here and there. And if they punt, 3 or 4 times, that's a wrap. That's a wrap because every time Michigan gets it, you ain't going to get the ball for a while.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get the ball for a while. I'm not expecting Michigan to have too many 3 and outs. They might not score on every drive, but I don't think they're going to go 3 and out very often.
Nah. I agree. So I totally agree with you, especially with that back they got there. They got a nice back there. Cullum, yeah, he's a good back. So you're right. It's going to be a grind out. If Michigan have its way, definitely going to be physical. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what a lot of Big Ten teams do. It's a physical game. It's a physical league. But yeah, I think it like I said before, I think is their year, man. They, Harbaugh wins, rise off to the sunset, goes to our next topic, who's on the hot seat, right? Because there's going to be some vacancies open in the NFL, brother. Yes, it is. So, man, it's crazy that segue just came in like that, huh, man?
How about that?
How about that? As you know, America, if you don't know too much about football, you gotta listen to Gil Larry real quick. We're gonna tell y'all something real quick, man. Every year, Never failed since the last, I don't know when, 10, 15. Would you want to go back 20? I don't know. Let's just say that coaches are dime a dozen and they don't last long. This is the win-proven league, okay? This is results-driven league. This is what this is, America, okay? Not too many owners are sticking Bobcats and letting systems build anymore, okay? You're not getting that no more. You're not getting the Belichicks no more. You're not going to get the Pittsburgh Steelers with Tomlin. You're not going to get the longevity with Andy Reid. It's not too many coaches going to tell me that's going to, like Mike Vrabel, he's got in that category where you're sticking by the coach and his system and you believe in the coach and you're not going to change up. But unfortunately, a lot of coaches ain't going to have a job this year, brother. There's some hot seats. It's getting hot. Woo, scorching. Woo. As Ric Flair would say, woo. So now I'm asking you, woo. I'm asking you, my brother. The year's up. It's a new year. It's going to be new regimes coming in. Who is making the cut, in your opinion, and who is getting the axe?
Well, Black Monday is less than a week away. It will have already come and gone by the time our next show airs. So we're going to already pretty much have our answers. I had told you before, the average every year, whether a coach gets fired or leaves on his own for whatever reason, is over 6. Over 6 on the average. Last year was 5, so they were under. If you're going to go by that number, over 6, then you're going to pick between 6 and 7, I guess. Well, 3 have already come and gone.
Right.
We've already had the Chargers make a change.
Raiders.
We've had the Raiders make a change. And we've had the Panthers.
And the Panthers.
Make a change.
I already know who's going to happen, bro.
The Panthers are going with an interim coach that I'm pretty sure will not be the head coach next year.
No.
Antonio Pierce, 50-50.
50-50, I agree.
50-50.
Chargers, I don't think the interim is going to be the coach.
Again,
no.
That is a very appealing job because of location and quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's not appealing is ownership because the Spanos are cheap.
Yeah.
So if you're one of these top-notch coaches, like let's say a Sean Payton, for example, when he was looking for jobs last year, he was never going to go to the Chargers because they're not going to pay these coaches $15 million a year. They're not going to do that. They don't bring in that kind of money. They are renting that SoFi Stadium. That is not really their stadium. They don't have a fan base out there. They don't sell merch.
Nope.
Like other teams in LA, they don't bring in the cash. They don't have that kind of money that they can afford to spend top dollar. So what are they going to do? They're probably going to take a guy that's like one of these top offensive or defensive coordinators and give them their first chance.
Yeah.
At a head coaching job. And who's going to say no? Again, especially if you're an offensive guy, that quarterback plus location where you're going to live and coach and practice, come on. There's a lot to be appealing there. So those 3 jobs are already open. I'm going to include the Raiders. I'm hoping Pierce gets the job.
Pierce does keep the job but I know the Raiders are idiots.
Yeah, they are idiots because they should have kept the last guy that was the interim coach a couple years ago. What was his name? It sounds like Versace. What was his name?
Oh man, what was his name? Because they brought in John Gruden.
Yeah, and then they brought in Josh McDaniels, and he's
Josh McDaniels. That's right. He brought in Josh McDaniels.
But before him was the interim coach was the one that was doing well and got them, took over after Gruden got fired, and they continued. They won and made the playoffs. And this year, I'm hoping Pierce wins his game because he's 4-4 right now as the interim coach. He goes 5-4 under these conditions. And they made a quarterback change. They sat Garoppolo. They're playing the rookie. I'm really hoping he gets it, but bad ownership, and that's what the Raiders have. They kind of make mistakes like this.
Indeed.
They kind of they see the big name possibly, and there might be one coming out of college that might be very interested in that
Yeah, I
Raiders.
mean, they got the money. They'll
They
probably get what they want. If you're looking at a situational, they will probably give them everything you want. Right?
if they gave the money and the power to Gruden,
Yeah,
they'll give the money and the power
for
to
sure, for sure, for
this
sure.
guy.
Now,
Whatever you want. Hey, here's the keys.
there you go.
Here's the keys.
There you go. Now the question is, I mean, you're in Vegas, you know, Sin City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chilling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chargers got the quarterback that you want, though.
Mm-hmm.
Downside, once again, is that they're not going to pay you no money. We know this, right? You don't want to go to Carolina. You don't want to go to Carolina. That's just a bad move. Whoever picks up that job is just a retarded move. With the way the quarterback shuffle is going, man, Ben Johnson probably get that job out Chargers, man.
No, with the Chargers?
With the Chargers.
That's
a
good one.
That's a good one. You got the quarterback. You know, you want the head coach job. You're not doing it for the money. You just want the position. So in his case, yeah. Vegas, I really see them because they're dumb owners. They're going to go for Harbaugh. He's going to go for Harbaugh. They're going to give everything he wants. Unfortunately, Gibbs, I mean, it would be great if Gibbs could go down to Antonio Gibson, go down to Carolina, right? It would be smart. I mean, you see what he did, right? I think you can bring that type of culture down there. But once again, I wouldn't want that job because that job is not something I definitely wouldn't want that job. But then we
Look
got
at that
another job.
owner. Look at that dumb owner
terrible
throwing
owner.
a drink at one of the
300,000, right? He's a billionaire. He don't care.
300.
Right?
Yeah, that's still a lot of money. That's an expensive bar tab.
Yeah. That's when he gets his wife to go shopping and get out his hair. But here, babe, just take the 300,000 and go buy a car. I don't know. Just get out of here. Must be nice. Must be nice. But I can tell you, a job is definitely opening up, right? Because Washington pretenders will not have a coach. So yes, that's one of the coaches I see. By next week he will not be there. Ron Rivera will not be there. It's already written. It's already there. I think he's done anyway. You can just tell. Sometimes it's like you just want to let the nightmare go. That was a nightmare situation. They went through ownership. It's never been. It's just been a crap show down there in DC, man. Unfortunately, right? I believe that Belichick and will part ways in New England. I think it'll be amicable though. I won't be a firing. I think it's just him just moving on. You know what I mean? Where will he go? Very interesting concept. I don't know. That one I don't know where he would end up at. If I'm looking out the league, I'm just in my mind trying to figure what jobs I feel is really in jeopardy. Outside of them two jobs, I can't think of none that's I could think of that's really, in a hot seat.
I got two.
You got two.
Two more. The ones you
more.
mentioned, which I agree with. And Washington, now here's the key. What's Washington going to do? Because they got the ownership, and Magic Johnson is part of ownership with that. They probably will need to hire a new GM before they get the coach. Does
Eric Bieniemy get the job?
No.
No.
What
about Carolina? You see him going out Carolina?
It's a possibility. If he's desperate enough to want that first crack at it. Yeah. I'm not the kind of guy, all these people are crying, oh, Bieniemy, he should have already had a head coaching job. To me, there's a reason why he's not getting this job. Now, I don't really know, but I heard that he interviews bad, and the players that he coaches, this will sound silly, but they think he coaches them too hard. He rides them too hard.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, who knows? If that's players just being soft, but I heard it in Washington, and I also heard it in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So, I don't know I don't know how truthful that is. The other two teams, unfortunately, even though we both said that we want Pierce to get that job because ownership is so dumb, and if Harbaugh winds up riding into the sunset and leaving Michigan for an NFL job, I think Vegas is the perfect job for him.
Indeed.
I thought Chicago would have been perfect too, but they might not be making any changes.
No, I don't think they're
We'll
going
get
to.
into that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of Eberflus. I don't think they're going to get rid of him because of you just see the progress of y'all. You know, it's kind of hard now to say I'm a can them when y'all actually been winning. We're going to talk about that though.
A little bit of fool's gold, but okay.
We'll talk about that though.
So, Vegas, I think they will make a change with Pierce, especially if he loses this last game against Denver.
Yeah,
I hate that, but I think it will. I think it's more that he won't stay than he will stay. And I'm also looking at Tennessee. You know, Tennessee is going to be going through some changes now because I think this is the last game. Henry is going to be there.
Done. Henry's done down there.
I think this is the last game. Tannehill is going to be there.
He's actually they're moving on. They're definitely moving on. I don't even think Hopkins coming back, to be honest, man.
Well, it was only a 1-year deal.
It's only a 1-year deal, so I definitely know he's not going to be there.
Yeah, so I don't think
it's a rebuild down in Tennessee, man.
I think if New England moves on from Belichick, I think Vrabel would be a good fit to fill in. He's part of the Belichick tree. Yeah. He's had success as a head coach. Yeah. I'm sure Kraft loves him. He won as a championship as a player.
Fan base to accept him. Coming back home. Oh, yeah. You won championships there.
That would be a nice,
that'd be a nice. Right. Yeah. Get out that crap show down there. Who knows? Gibson might, because I think he's going to definitely get a head coaching job, man. He should, he should. Or they might make him a defensive coordinator again. But I think he should get a job. And I think if one of them jobs opens up, like you said, Tennessee might be a good look. It's, is that type, it's a rebuild. He could build around his identity. He could fit his players in there and kind of build like what's called it out Texans, Houston Texans, the head coach.
Oh my gosh.
DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans, right. How he was able to build his culture, his character out there in Texas, which, as we're going to talk about, is going to be very interesting this last week when we get to our picks. It's two divisions that are still open. Woo! Love it.
There's a lot of open spots.
It's a lot of open spots
to make the playoffs, and theyll need help, but they're still mathematically in it. That's pretty good considering this is week 18. You got a lot of teams where positions are still up for grabs. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And there are some teams that can play spoiler. I can think of one. I can think of one that will be very motivating.
You'll love that moment. You'll love that. Look, you'll love that. That'd be like the Super Bowl right there.
Let me not say it out loud. It would be like winning the Super Bowl. It would. Bears would have won 3 in a row. Last game against the Packers and preventing them from making the playoffs. And Justin Fields, whether they keep him or they let him go, his last game would be beating the Packers.
Yeah. You couldn't write it no better, right?
You
couldn't write it no better, right? You couldn't write it no better, right?
Oh my gosh, I would. That would be to me better than the Bears already locking up the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't lock it up. Carolina
locked it up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be so great. I would never be so happy for a Bears team that finished under 500 as I would this team. Oh my goodness.
So Carolina gets the number 1 pick, right?
They by record they get the number 1 pick, but because of the trade last year by the Bears trading their number 1 pick to Carolina, so Carolina draft Bryce Young. In exchange, the Bears got their number 1 pick for
Right.
this year, and DJ Moore,
So,
and a late 2nd rounder last year.
So, in your opinion,
Greatest trade ever.
Being that Justin Fields has shown you, and you've been a proponent of Justin Fields, you've been saying all year, that you really about giving Justin Fields a chance. Lately, he didn't show you what he could do. And I know what I've been hearing through different sources has been, it's the sporadicness of it. That's the question. It's like, okay, at times he's looking like the best thing on the field, and at other times it's like he has no control of the offense, right? I always say that offensive coordinators have a huge part to play in this equation, because if you don't play to your skill set, once again, they wasn't playing to the skill set of your quarterback. Y'all was shuffling players in off your O-line. It's just a lot of factors you got to buy into to say this player wasn't playing his best football, right? But if you give him the elements to be successful, he has shown you what he could do. And he kept getting better and better. I'm looking at a progression. Bro. And I'm sitting here like, they keep screaming for Caleb Williams. They keep screaming for these freaking quarterbacks in college, okay? College. We're talking about college, okay? How many college quarterbacks have won a Heisman and do crap poop up in the NFL? Hell, I know a guy named Tebow. He's the greatest college player ever played, right? Quite arguably. He didn't do nothing.
Lot.
Right?
A lot.
Right? Came up to the NFL and didn't translate. Right? We got guys like Tom Brady, the legend killer, the legend, right? If we're going off his college performances, right? We're going off the concubine, right? This guy, we're not even talking about this guy. What I'm saying that, man, sometimes the eye test isn't the eye test, bro. Sometimes the eye test isn't what it is. I hate when these people, these sports commentators, all these people hype these freaking college players up, and then they come up here. So now Chicago feeling the pressure of having to get the generational talent. Hate them terms. How the hell are you gonna be a generational talent? Huh?
Every year.
How the hell are you gonna be a generational talent?
Every year it's generational.
Did USC play for the national championship this year? No. Did they win their own conference title? No. Did they win last year? No.
Oh, and here's the best one. Their bowl game that they played this year, Caleb Williams did not play. His backup threw for 6 touchdowns. 6.
You see, America?
6. So is it the player or is it the system?
The system. Thank you. So now you're telling me that Caleb Williams, Chicago, listens to all the noise. Sometimes you got to filter out white noise called static. Get out your way, man. You got to see clear. Don't let the people influence your thought processes, right? If they were smart, which unfortunately your franchise isn't too smart, right? They would do what you said do. Go get Morris, man, get him another weapon. You got you got Moore on this side. You got Harrison Jr. right here. You give me some more beef for your defense. I'm going to go to my defense. Maybe get a little bit of weapons on the offensive line, right? Shore up the line a little bit, man. Give the quarterback a chance, right? You showing what you can do, but you're going to shoot the dice. Go get Caleb Williams. You're definitely shooting the dice because you don't know what you're going to get, okay? The offense is what it is. The offense is what it is. Do they play to his strengths? He's a generational talent. Y'all win what? If y'all win this last game, y'all win what, 7-9, right?
If we win this last game, we'll be 8-9.
You'll be 8-9.
8-9. Started the year 0-4. Started 0-4.
So you're telling me you go get the generational talent, you win 8-9. That's telling me that with generational talent, y'all should go what? 12 and you gotta win more than 8 games, bro. You gotta make it make sense to me. You gotta win more than 8 games. If you're gonna go get Caleb Williams, I'm expecting y'all to win more than some 8 games, okay?
They blew 3 double-digit leads in the
Yes.
fourth quarter.
So technically y'all should be
Denver,
11.
Detroit,
Detroit,
and Cleveland.
and Cleveland, right? So
Okay.
technically y'all should be 11.
11.
11.
If they win this game.
If they win
If
this
they
game.
lose, it'd be 10.
Be 10. Okay.
Still playoff hunt.
I don't think the generational talent, and I ain't got nothing against Caleb Williams, man. I think it's a better situation than other places. I just don't think that Chicago should go with that quarterback. When y'all quarterback, if you build around him, y'all got some special right there, man. He will be a starting quarterback for some high team. I promise you that. If y'all dumb enough to let him go, he will be a starter for some high team.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
So right now, there's still one more game to play, but right now, Washington holds the number 2 pick.
Yes.
And Washington is playing Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just assume I'm not doing our pick yet because there's a big spread. But let's just assume Dallas wins.
Right.
And Washington gets the second pick. They need a new GM.
Indeed.
A new GM wants to make a splash.
Indeed.
They got to get a new coach. And a minority owner is Magic Johnson. Now, there's a bunch of things I could tell you about Magic. One of those things is he is not patient. When he was the GM for the 10 minutes with LA,
yeah,
he wanted to make a splash.
Yeah.
And when he wasn't the GM, he was in the ear of Kupchak and who's ever in charge. Hey, man, we should get this guy. We should move up to get this guy. We should draft this guy.
Yeah.
When he became a minority owner for the LA Dodgers, he wanted to sign people right away. Hey, let's get this guy. Let's get this guy. And they've been doing it every year. And they've been one of the teams to beat in the National League every year.
Right.
Because if it wasn't for Houston, they'd be the best team in the National League.
That's a fact.
Right? And what did they just do this offseason? They made 2 big splashes.
Splash.
2 of them.
Splash.
Okay. Now you got him as a minority owner in the ear of the majority owner, who happens to also own the 76ers.
Right.
Okay. Do you think it's impossible for Washington to say, hey, let's move up one and get the quarterback we want? Let's get the quarterback we want. Let's get the guy from, wait for it, the guy that's playing in LA to come to Washington. I know about LA. I'm Magic Johnson. I watch USC play all the time. This guy's been a superstar for 2 years with a big smile all the time. Can you see Magic getting in someone's ear and talking them into,
I can.
Hey, listen, let's move. It's just one spot. One spot. Let's move up one spot. Get our guy. I can.
Because
if I'm the Bears, I'm doing that.
The
Bears can get more by moving down one spot this year than they did moving down 9 spots last year.
Once again,
they can get more.
If you a smart GM, I'm definitely doing the trade. Yes, you can have my number 1 pick. Like you said, I'm getting more bang for the buck. What are you talking about, man? What are we talking about? Y'all won 8 games. You're possibly about to win 8 games. You're on the uprise. You feel me? You know what you could do with this quarterback. Okay? You know what you could do with him. I'm going with what I know rather than the unknown. Because you look like the biggest idiots ever. Because now you're going back to rebuild mode. Or we could be totally wrong. He could go to Chicago. He could wow Chicago. He could get the ball where he needs to get to. He could be patient in that pocket. He might be the Mahomes with the fucking throws and all that. And y'all look like the smartest damn franchise ever. We could be wrong. I don't personally think that is going to go that way. Me personally. So, yes, I think Magic Johnson takes a shot at Caleb Williams. If not, what's the backup? LSU? It is. It is a Heisman Trophy winner at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Explosive.
Drake May.
You talking about Drake May?
Drake, hey, listen, Drake May. He
Oh,
he
we talking about
passes
Drake May?
the eye test. The eye test. They project him at the next level to be more successful than they do in college. That's what I keep hearing. That's what I keep hearing.
Did him and Sam Howell go to the same school?
Did Sam Howell go to North Carolina?
Did he go to Duke or North Carolina?
I don't know where Sam Howell went. I know Drake May went. What goes to North Carolina?
I know. I swore. I thought Howell went to North Carolina too.
He might have.
I'm just
Trubisky
saying
went
that
to North
Trubisky went
Carolina.
to North Carolina. I'm just saying, Washington. I'm just saying, I wouldn't do that. You better go with explosive. Okay, that's what I would do. Yeah, they might RG3 again. They might go to RG3 route. Hopefully, they don't break this quarterback up. You know.
Well, if Washington does something out of the ordinary, like actually bring in a competent GM,
Yeah,
then Washington should trade down.
they should.
And they can get one of those top offensive linemen, either from Notre Dame or Penn State, and get a quarterback.
Ooh.
They can get Penix.
Penix.
They could get Bo Nix.
They can.
They can get Daniels.
They can.
They could get one of those three guys plus an offensive lineman, but that would mean using your noodle and trading down.
Hold on, we just
And
said
you got to find a team that wants to move. Do the Giants want to move up? Does New England want to move up?
Well, New England got
Arizona doesn't.
Arizona's
picking fourth, and they're going to stay there.
New England got to get a quarterback. Is Bailey Zappi the future? No.
He's a future backup.
He's a future, right? And unfortunately, they broke Mac Jones. They broke a spirit. They broke a spirit. I thought it was some huge shoes to follow behind. We talking about Tom Brady, and man, it's like ominous. I just felt sorry for the guy. You're coming behind one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it. They did everything in their power for you not to be successful. They made Matt Patricia your offensive coordinator, man. What the heck is going on in the world? And in Philly, I'm poor Philly. I'm a Cowboys fan. look, I gotta laugh real quick. I'm having a hot moment right now. You hear me? Because, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, boy. I'm tickled right now, man.
They made a panic move. Their defense was starting to hit the skids. They removed the Desai and upgrade Patricia, and now they're even worse.
This guy got to be the greatest. Y'all thought David Copperfield was a great musician, right? This guy got to be the greatest musician that ever lived because he got tricked. He's tricking everybody he done went to. He had Detroit Lions think that he was some great coach, Nagy. I don't know what they thought about. If you looked at his defense, New England wasn't stopping nobody. Okay, it took one free play in the Super Bowl in the Super Bowl when Malcolm Butler made that play, which technically shouldn't have came down to that. Should have been the beast mode 3 times, punching in, we win, it's over, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. He goes to Detroit, flounders, right? Goes back to New England. Terrible. He's in Philly, finds his way in Philly. He done weaseled his way into Philly somehow. And I don't know what Sirianni's thinking about. He must not want to go to Super Bowl this year. That's what I'm thinking. Thank you. We like presents. It's a given season. We like presents in Dallas. We do. Okay? Y'all look like a dominant team, Philadelphia Eagles fans. Y'all look like y'all was, man, I got, Dunkin' Donuts giving out free coffee every week there for a minute there. Yeah, if you don't know about this region right here, if you're not from this region, you get free coffee. You get Eagles, EAGLES, you get all this crap. You get bleed green, Eagles, I'm sick to my stomach with Eagles. So I'm laughing right now because, let's get to my point, I'm laughing. I just can't get it out. So funny right now. We beat up on the Commanders. Don't you know that we win the East?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hold up. You know how many times they had to hear this in the last, I don't know how many years? Well, we won the East. Yeah, well, we had to win the East. Okay? Y'all are now going to be a wild card team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Philly ends up a wild card team. The way it's going, we'll be the second seed, right? Philly will
Yeah.
drop
You
off
went from 5 to
5
2.
to 2, right? Obviously, San Fran just secured the number 1 spot, so the road goes to San Francisco, which I don't like that. Okay, I was being honest, brother, being transparent.
We'll
I gotta be
get
transparent.
there. Get there when you get there.
We're gonna do it right, right? So you got who would be the 3rd seed coming out now? I'm just going to the playoff scenarios in my head.
Isn't it
Detroit,
Detroit?
but then Detroit also no, because we beat them, so they can't be the 2, so they'll be the 3 seed, right? And then you'll have God knows who you got winning the South now, brother. Who you got winning the South? You got the Saints or you got the Bucks?
Bucks.
Still with the Bucks? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Bucks. You got the Eagles at the 5th spot, correct?
Yeah.
We got who's at the 6th spot? The Rams?
I think the Rams make it. I'm trying to look for the other team.
I know that team is
Here's the thing. What if Green Bay beats Chicago? Green
that
Bay's
part.
in. Green Bay's in then.
So Green Bay's in. So Seattle's out.
Right.
Okay.
Seattle has to win.
They has to win, right? And they have to and they play with San Fran, right? No, they played Rams
Arizona.
play San Fran. Rams play San Fran. Arizona. So that's a winnable game. Okay. Worst case, I'm just trying to do the math. Okay. Green Bay go plays Dallas. It's not you know how we are, man. We just find a way when we supposed to be the team not to win, right? So it's not guaranteed we're gonna win, but I still got us beating Green Bay. Okay. You got the 6th seed would have been, which is going to be the Rams. The Rams have to go play Detroit. Interesting game. 2 offenses. Very interesting game. I don't know where to go with that game, be honest. So I don't even know. But let's just say I don't know where to go. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even want to predict that game. I don't know where to go with that game, be honest. I would say I would get the edge of Detroit because they're home, but Rams do travel well, so I can't say that. Okay. So then you got Philly going to play the Bucks. Is that a guaranteed win?
A Philly, as long as they're healthy-ish, I would give them the
right. So they beat the Bucks, right? So that means if they beat the Bucks, then they're en route to go play San Francisco and San Fran.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, because it depends who's the last
what if
seed.
Green Bay? Well, San Francisco is going to play the lowest seed,
Right?
But you're assuming that the 3 wild cards are going to lose. What if one of them wins? Other than Philly is the highest.
All right, let's just for argument's sake, let's just say that the Rams win because that's a game that's doable.
Okay.
That's winnable, right?
Yeah.
Rams go play.
Rams would
play the Niners.
San Francisco. Yeah.
Interesting game because it's 2 rivals.
And Philly
go play Dallas.
You guys?
Yes.
Philly would play you.
Y'all play us in Dallas. Scary game for us. Very scary game for us. Because especially it's a scary game for us, man. But I think that we could come out on top. So for me, I think it's going to come down to us going to play San Francisco. I would love that scenario, right? I'm scared of that because I think we have the capability to beat them, but I don't think we will beat them.
You haven't done it recently.
I would love for us to beat them, but I don't think it's going to happen, brother. So I actually got San Fran going to the chip. Okay. AFC side, I got the Ravens. Now, one team I really see that could challenge them, be honest.
I got a team.
Buffalo.
I got it. Buffalo. Bingo. Bingo.
Buffalo.
Bingo.
Buffalo.
If Buffalo beats Miami in Miami this weekend, they will lock up the division.
Yeah.
I think that's the team.
Yeah.
And I said before the season started, San Francisco, Buffalo, Super Bowl. And it could still happen.
Great Super Bowl, my opinion.
Listen,
Great.
I know that Baltimore is the number 1 seed, but there's pressure because Lamar is going to probably win another MVP.
Yes.
And he only has 1 playoff win.
Yeah.
Only 1.
Yeah.
No excuses this time. You got a team. You got a team. I know you've run through running backs, but you've got receivers. You lost the tight end, but the backup tight end is pretty good. And you got a great defense, and defense travels.
Yeah.
And you're going to be at home every single game.
Every single game. But we
every single game except for the Super Bowl. There's pressure. There's pressure.
But we know, Gil. We've seen this dance before. Coming with, number 1 seed. You're clicking all cylinders. You're not going to play starters this week. You're not.
And then you're off. And then you got to buy.
So you come out cold because you're not playing that first week. So now you're going to come out cold. You're going to play a hot team. And you ain't going to be able to get it going. And the season is down the toilet again. You won the MVP, but it's going to be lingering over you because you're still in that Michael Vick category. Quarterbacks that are mobile have not won chips. Unless you count Pat Mahomes, but he's a pocket quarterback to me. He makes things happen with his feet, but he's more of a pocket quarterback to me. He's not like a Michael Vick where it's running first. I'm running first.
Right.
It's not too many of them quarterbacks that you can name that have won a championship. I can't think of none on top of my brain that has won playing that style of football. Run first, quarterback.
A run first kind of guy.
Yeah, you can't name one.
I've seen mobile quarterbacks that run for plays.
Yeah, we seen John Elway.
And
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
We seen them tight, but I'm talking about the offense is like keeper, quarterback, RPO, you run.
Right.
Michael Vick, 2000. Nobody wins with that style. It's like James Harden playing ISO. Nobody wins with that style in the playoffs. It just don't work, So I just don't think that. I don't think it's going to end up with the top seeds playing each other this year. I don't. I think Buffalo going to find his way to get in there, man. I do. See, I could see Miami coming there and being a spoiler.
I got to see Miami beat a good team. And now, if they lose, they're going to play every game on the road. They lost Nick Chubb, tore his ACL. And one of the starting corners, Howard, is out for this game.
Oh, my goodness, man. They caught the bring at the wrong time. Yeah, I'm sorry. Can we go cancel that thought? Cancel that thought, brother. So, now that we're going to let's get to these picks, brother. Can we get to the picks? I'm ready.
You ready for these picks?
I'm ready, man, because my mouth is salivating. It's salivating, and I got to get 1 week underneath my belt.
I finished 500 last week. I went 8-8. So I can't get it going, man. I don't know. I go against one theory for another theory. Neither one works for me. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all right. Our last week of the regular season, it was a great regular season. I enjoyed it, especially because of the podcast. The podcast will continue. The regular season, however, will not. Let's go. Saturday, 4:30, ABC. Your Pittsburgh Steelers, who've been doing a lot better on offense last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Will travel to the number 1 seed, Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers won the first matchup in Pittsburgh. Baltimore is a 4-point home underdog because
Right.
they are expected to play a lot of their backups.
It's
4
crazy, right?
points.
It's crazy, right? Even though they're playing backups, give me Baltimore for the points. It's them funny games like that, man, where it'd be like, yeah, they playing backup quarterback. They're going to play backups. But I've seen this before, man. And it'd be like Pittsburgh is supposed to come and dominate them, right? And why does it be some crazy stuff where the freaking Baltimore, for betting purposes, might cover the spread? Just give me Steelers for the cover. I don't know. I mean, for Baltimore for the cover, man.
So they're going to win by 4 or more points.
I just got Baltimore to cover for just not losing by more than 4.
Oh, okay. Because they're a 4-point underdog.
Yeah, they're for an underdog. They're a home underdog. So I just say it could be one of them nutty games where they might only, like Pittsburgh might only win by a field goal. Because we expected Baltimore just to lay down and roll over, and we'd be surprised if the backups don't try to put up a fight.
What you're doing is you're playing the number.
Yeah,
which is very logical. I'm going to play the team. Pittsburgh still mathematically is not eliminated. They will be if they lose this game. It's a rivalry game, divisional game. Pittsburgh beat Baltimore when Baltimore was playing their starters. I think Pittsburgh wins this game, and I think they cover. They're going to win by more than a field goal. So give me Pittsburgh. We disagree on game number 1. Game number 2 on Saturday, 8:15, A, B, C. Another divisional game. One of these teams will probably make the playoffs by knocking out the other team. The Houston Texans will be at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a 1-point home underdog.
Man, it's 2 different teams playing at. They both came off wins. I think Indianapolis is a little bit more healthier. They're home, but I'm gonna go with Texas. I'm going with the young boy. I'm going with Texas, man. I'm going to Texas.
Stroud is back. They won last week.
Young Texas.
The line, the fact that Indy's at home and they're only a 1-point favorite. This is Houston all the way. All right, Sunday, Super Sunday. Fox, 1 o'clock, divisional game. Tampa Bay trying to lock up the division will be at Carolina. Carolina is a 4.5-point underdog at home. This one's easy for me. Tampa gets it right. Tampa wins the division. They don't mess around. Carolina can't score. I don't care what the spread is. Tampa Bay just has to score 5 points, in my opinion, and they win this game.
They're Bucks.
Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay.
Bucks all day long. All day, I don't even got to discuss it. Bucks all day long. And I get to win, and I get to get in. Bucks.
All right. Divisional game. CBS. Cleveland at Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland will not be playing some of their starters, including Joe Flacco.
Yeah. What's the line?
Cincinnati is favored by 7 at home.
Oh, give me Bengals.
I am in agreement just because I don't like the fact that Cleveland will be on the road and not bring in a bunch of their starters.
Yeah,
Cincinnati has burned me a few weeks in a row. But if they don't cover this 7, then they're garbage.
I know Jamar Chase isn't playing and a lot of their players, but they still got an outside chance of making the playoffs, so they got to play.
A very outside. The guys that are playing for Cincinnati are legit because of injury. Cleveland is resting guys.
Yeah, they're resting guys.
They're resting them. All right. Another divisional game in the Dome. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit is a 3.5-point favorite. I'm looking at the number. Detroit's pretty much locked into where they're going to be.
Yeah.
Minnesota still mathematically in it, but they need to win and get help.
I like the Vikings.
I like the Vikings too. I like them too. I like them to win outright, actually.
Yeah, me too. because once again, it's not going to. If the Lions, one, I don't think they're going to want to risk the chance of an injury. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to play your starter and there's some freak accident happen in a meaningless game for y'all. It's meaningless. You know what I mean? Even if I did play my starter, I might want to play him a half. I'm not going to play him the whole game. That's just stupid. That's dumb coaching. For what? You know what I mean? You're not going to go up no further. You're locked in the 3 spot.
Right.
Oh. It's dumb.
There's no point in going out and trying to win this game. It does you nothing.
Yeah.
Only something negative can happen.
Yeah.
So I think the game Detroit had to come and win was last week, and they won it, but they lost.
Yeah.
So
you know
what's up. All right, the next game, we're in agreement there. And we were also in agreement with Cincinnati, by the way.
Yeah.
With the 7. All right, so we only disagreed on the first game so far.
Yep.
The New York Jets at the New England Patriots. I'm surprised at this line. The Patriots are a home 1.5 point favorite. I'm thinking this could be Bill Belichick's last game.
Yeah, I like the Patriots, bro.
I like the Patriots to cover and win.
Me too. Like, what are the Jets playing for? Unless it's some guys that guarantee some money or something, you know what I mean? They need the stats.
Right.
But what are they playing for? The quarterback is trash.
Trash.
They let Dalvin Cook finally out of his nightmare.
They let Dalvin Cook go.
Yeah, out of his nightmare. It's the lost season. It's been a washed up lost season. What are you playing for? Belichick goes out with a win. It's his last day possibly as a coach of the Patriots. They all going to give him a standing O. You feel me? It's going to be a great emotional day in New England. I don't see him going out losing his last game.
100%. I think Patriots win.
Thank you, Bill. That's what it's going to
be. That's what it's going to be. This is his last game in Foxborough. I think, anyway.
Yes, sir.
And he's going to go out on a win, beating the team that he usually beats and the organization that he hates.
Yeah.
So we are in agreement again. Ugh. Okay, divisional game. These two teams hate each other. The Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints still with a chance to make the playoffs, still with a chance to win a division.
Yeah.
Atlanta can make the playoffs, but they need a lot of help, and it starts with winning this game. New Orleans is a 3-point home favorite.
Last game of season, Heineke, that defense. Saints came and played last week. They actually showed me something. Inconsistent football. God dang. This is
it hasn't been announced yet. I'm not sure that Heineke is the starter because he got benched in the fourth quarter against Chicago, and they brought in Ritter. So I don't know who the starter is going to be.
You got one team that's consistently inconsistent, which is the Saints, right? And then you got Atlanta, who just don't. He should be on a freaking hot seat, man. Arthur should be on the hot seat too.
You know how many catches that guy Kyle Pitts, the tight end that was supposed to revolutionize the position? Guess how many catches he had?
None.
I'll give you a hint. You're correct. None.
They only use their weapons, man. So it's one of them funny games for me, man. Oh my God. Give me the Saints at home, but I'm not confident in that pick. Give me the Saints at home.
Man, we are in agreement again. What the F?
I ain't say I like that pick, though, Gil. That might be one of the ones on the edge for me.
Sometimes it's process of elimination.
It is. I mean,
don't think you're as bad as the other guy. That's all. It's like these days, it's like voting for a president of the United States.
Yeah.
I don't like either one. I just don't think this guy is as awful
as that guy. Right.
He's bad, but he's not awful.
Yeah. And I think you got awful and bad. You know what I'm saying? So I just went with bad.
I went with bad, not awful.
Not awful.
Okay. Jacksonville coming off of a
much needed win,
and they won it with the backup quarterback, and they
Yeah.
won a shutout. Now, be it as it may, it was against Carolina, but still, I think you and I both had Carolina with the points last week. We
Suckers.
both came up short, obviously. So Jacksonville, still trying to win that division, will lock it up if they beat Tennessee at Tennessee. We talked about Vrabel. This could be his last game.
What's
This
the
could
line?
be King Henry's last game there too. This could be Tannehill's last
What's
game
the line?
there. Tennessee is a 5.5 point home underdog.
I got burnt by Tennessee last week with the Texans.
So did I.
Word
So
I did, man. But they could play spoiler. Give me Titans, man.
Oh, I'm in agreement with you again.
I think they're gonna play spoiler to Jacksonville, man.
I don't think they're gonna lose by 6.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're gonna play spoiler to Jacksonville, man. I think Jacksonville go out there, man. They could win that division. They're gonna lose, man. They're gonna look at might be looking at Doug Peterson, man. Funny, man. You know, I think the backup's still playing, ain't he? Or is Trevor Lawrence gonna play?
Trevor Lawrence is supposed to come back and play. He missed last week. He's supposed to come back. So
it's interesting.
That number.
It's a number, man.
5.5.
Yeah, that's
you know
number.
what? You're gonna give me
a funny number,
a
man.
6-point cushion.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, give me Titans, man.
Yeah, we're in agreement there. Oh gosh. All right, the 4:25 games now. Seattle at Arizona. Arizona is a 3-point home underdog. They did the greatest gift. It's funny because early in the year, they beat you guys and it got held against you all year.
You sure
and
did.
At the end of the year, they beat Philadelphia, and that helps you so much.
It did.
So Seattle trying to lock up a wild card spot on a road divisional game at Arizona.
Yeah, but I mean, Kyle Murray shows me something against Philly, but Philly just had a letdown. Give me Seattle, man.
I am in agreement. I got Seattle. I think the teams that got to win to get in are going to win.
And technically, the Arizona shouldn't have won that game against Philly.
A bad team. They're
bad. Don't let that Philly win fool you, man. That was Philly just letting the gas off, straight up. That's what that was. And a bad coach named Matt Patricia. He's a terrible defensive coordinator. That part. Yeah.
Yikes.
Thank you, though.
Okay. You know, I'll be interested in this one. They got the number 1 team on CBS. Your boy Tony Romo and Jim Nantz will be calling the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers are a 3-point home favorite, which to me says a little bit, considering that they, in week 1, Green Bay won in Chicago by 18. 38-20.
Hey, bro.
And now they're only a 3-point favorite, and they're the team that if they win, they're in, not Chicago.
You know what, though, man? Unfortunately, man, I'm a big proponent of Justin Fields. I like what he got going on. But, man, Chicago just can't beat Green Bay for some odd reason, man. And now you got them on chance to make the playoffs, too. I'm going Green Bay.
Unfortunately, I am in agreement because one of the things that rarely gets talked about is how good Jordan Love has progressed.
No, he really has. He really has.
He's their quarterback.
No, he really is.
They waited on him.
Yeah.
When it was his time. He was a little up and down, but he's their quarterback.
He's definitely their quarterback.
He's their quarterback.
And they got a young team. Team. So that's like the future. And if you're going to build, I know, you look at how Aaron Rodgers came in after Brett Favre, but, you ain't always going to get that. That's rare. When you got a guy that can sit down long and be ready to go. Jordan Love had to go through his bumps, but he did get better as the season he got more comfortable, and now they have a chance to make the playoffs and they're home and they always beat y'all. I ain't going to go against the trend.
Now, Last year was last year. This year is this year. But last year at this time, week 18, Green Bay needed to win to get in. Detroit, who
Yep.
was hot in the second half
They
of
were.
the year last year, they found out that Seattle took their playoff spot just before they had kickoff with Green Bay. Detroit still came to play. They never ever win at Green Bay. They won at Green Bay last year, and that was Aaron Rodgers' last game at Lambeau.
It
So
was.
that happened last year. It's not impossible for Chicago to come on the road and beat a team that they never beat in Lambeau. I'm still going with Green Bay because I got to see it before I believe it, and I don't pick with my heart, despite what people think. I don't. I think this is going to be a good game, though.
I do
think
too.
it's good, but I just think
Look,
Green Bay
I was
is
on the. I was.
going to
Look,
find a way.
I'm on the fence with this game though. It ain't no guarantee because the fact that y'all been playing with confidence, man. Defensively, y'all been playing better. Just seeing it feel better. But then I like what Green Bay did in Minnesota last week, man. They dominated that game. Like they really did. It was a domination. Like they look comfortable.
Well, one of the things that we brought up, you said defense.
Yes,
In
sir.
week 1, the Bears did not have Montez Sweat.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't on the team yet. And since he's come to the defense, they are number 1 in interceptions, and they are number 1 against the run. So his domino effect, his value to the defense and the team is remarkable. Even better than I thought it was going to be, quite honestly. They definitely got the right guy because it was really between him and Chase Young.
Yeah.
And they chose him. They chose him.
Got the right guy.
And they got the right guy. He's at 12 and a half sacks, which is a career high. He had 6.5 with Washington, and he got 6 with Chicago. You bring extra pressure up front, it helps the back end. And look at the interceptions now. 22 interceptions on the year. They're number 1 with 1 more game to go. So that's another thing that Green hasn't seen this year. So let's see how that goes. And by the way, I'm going to get off of Fields and the Bears in a second. Fields had a very good game. He threw 2 passes, one in the end zone to Tyler Scott, hit him in the hands on both plays, and he dropped them. So he would have had at least 1 more passing touchdown. But the only guy that was consistently catching the ball was DJ Moore.
Yep.
And he had a fantastic game. If they didn't have him, they probably would have lost to Atlanta because they wouldn't have been able to move the ball. Right. They ran it a little bit. And you saw Justin get out of that sack by breaking 2 tackles and running for a first down. Yeah, that's the guy you want to replace. Okay. All right. Fox will be having Denver at Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a 2.5-point home underdog. I don't like how Denver is finishing the year.
I like Raiders.
I think it. By the way, I think it's terrible that they told Russell Wilson, if you don't negotiate your contract right now, we're going to sit you so you make less money. I can't believe the players union allows this.
You know what, man?
I can't believe that.
That's a shame. That's terrible.
This guy signed
the contract. Going to say that.
So
I don't want to restructure my contract. It's my contract for y'all, who y'all clearly don't have my back in this situation. And I'm supposed to go to my contract? Man, you crazy, man. And that's why you bench me? Say less. That's why y'all deserve to lose. Y'all deserve to lose. And that's why I'm going to take the Raiders, because y'all deserve to lose. I hope the Raiders, man, mollywop you. I hope they beat you so bad, man, that you go back and reconsider even having a team. I can't believe you, Denver, man. That's sad, man. That's sad. You're going to bench your starting quarterback over a contract. Who does that? You know what, Brownie?
Unbelievable.
Raiders, man. Raiders.
Yeah.
Please, for the sake of football, destroy them.
I am very disappointed in Sean Payton. He has done a few things and said a few things that either are out of character or I don't know what. But the comments that he made in the offseason about the Jets offensive coordinator who used to be their coach,
Nathaniel
Hackett.
Yep.
Hackett. I thought that was out of line. I thought it was out of line when he said, I don't want my players showing up in what was it? Fishing hats and stuff like that. Like,
First
come
and
on,
foremost,
dude.
man, I'm getting tired of your sipping punch, man.
Hey, bro, this isn't a dick. You're a coach.
You're a coach.
You're a coach. You're not a dictator. You're not a dictator. You are not a general, and these are not your soldiers.
Last time I checked, when you left the league, you left with a losing record. So what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like you wasn't that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You got one chip in New Orleans, man. One.
Yep.
One.
Mm-hmm. In like 15 years.
15 years. One. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
It. That part.
With a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes.
Okay.
Hall of Fame quarterback. You always had great receivers. They always had great receivers, by the way. You know. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Stop it.
Oh, and by the way, which I don't hear anybody talking about, but I'm going to bring it up. The year they won the Super Bowl was the same year of Bounty Gate. It was the same year that apparently there was a little incentive on being extra physical with certain players.
You're right about that.
And a certain head coach, I think his name is Sean Payton, got suspended for 1 year.
Yeah.
And
this is
and you're going to go around talking about other coaches and other players.
Check your ego. Check your ego at the door.
Yeah.
Your ego is as big as that stadium, mile high.
For real. Come on, bro. Be better.
Come on.
Be better. That's not right.
So you came to Denver to demoralize Russell Wilson? That's what you came to do? Demoralize him? Grown ass man on the sideline talking to him like a little kid.
Yeah, yelling at him, showing him up on TV and stuff like that. You know what that felt like? That felt like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. You know why? Because he could. Man. Let's go Las Vegas. Let's go Antonio Pierce. Get that head coaching job. Please. Get it. I hope you win by 50 again.
Me too. Embarrass them.
Put your foot on their throat. All right. Let me calm down a little bit.
Calm down, man.
Let me just calm down.
Sorry, America. I just don't like that type of stuff.
I was starting to flex a little bit. And chill out. Kansas City Chiefs at the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are a 3.5-point home favorite. Why? Because Kansas City is going to sit a lot of their starters. They're locked into their slot.
Yeah, so give me the Chargers.
I agree. I agree. If Mahomes don't play, it's going to be Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert's going to be playing. So
we're back up.
You know the nickname for Blaine Gabbert?
Bum?
No. It's a little more catchy. Blame Gabbert. That was his nickname in Jacksonville.
Blame Gabbert.
Starting quarterback there. Blame Gabbert.
Man.
Yep, so we're in agreement again. Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants. The Giants are a home 5-point underdog. We might see this one different.
They're trying to figure it out still, so. Man, the Eagles are still trying to figure it out, man.
yeah, I was about to say, who are you talking about?
Are you really that bad? Are you really that bad, man? Man, give me the Giants, man.
Oh,
I don't got no faith in the bum Eagles, man. Give me the Giants.
We're in agreement.
Look, you got the wide receiver crying about, yo, this what happens in Philly, man. Philly can't keep a wide receiver that's happy, man. They can't. Now AJ Brown is mad at the offense because he ain't getting touchdowns no more. And
you know what? Now you know why Tennessee wasn't so heartbroken to make that here.
Yep.
Tired of these diva wide receivers, man.
Yeah, me too, brother.
Tired of it. Even when they're winning, they're complaining.
That's a fact.
My goodness. I think Philly wins. I think the Giants cover the number.
Yeah,
I think they're on the play.
Is DeVito playing?
Well, who are you picking, though? Who are you picking, Philly or Giants?
Oh, Philly going to win.
Well, who are you picking with the number?
Giants.
5.5. You're picking the Giants, so we're in agreement again.
Yeah, with the Giants. I'm not telling you I ain't messing with Philly, man. They trying to figure it out, man.
All right. We're in agreement again. All right. Los Angeles Rams at San Francisco. San Francisco is a 4-point home favorite. You know they're going to play some of the backups. And the Rams are coming to win the game.
Give me the Rams. Give me Ed with the points.
I got the Rams too.
I know we're in America. I know we're in agreement, but unfortunately, it's that type of week, man. Nobody's playing their starters.
Yeah,
you gotta be idiot to take. And it's unfortunately watch. As much as me and Gil's in agreement, watch it be some crazy stuff still happen on Sunday.
Oh yeah, you know we're not
gonna happen. It's gonna be some of these picks. Unfortunately, it's not gonna go the way we thought because the backups might actually be better than the starters that are playing.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Like Baltimore, they have a good backup.
They do.
They got a good backup.
That's why I took him.
He's like a poor man's Lamar Jackson.
He really is. Tyler Huntley. That's why I took him.
Okay. Dallas Cowboys. I think you know this team. Against the Washington Commanders. I got to make sure I say it like that because it's a corny name, and I want to make sure I don't say what I
should have stepped with the Redskins, man.
I'm not getting into that.
I don't think they were offended.
I
don't think they were offended.
Just because I'm not offended doesn't mean it doesn't offend somebody else. So I'm not getting into that.
30 years.
Listen, there were a lot of things that we put up with for a long time, and then we stopped putting up with it. And you know what we say? How did we ever put up with that so long? How did we do that? I mean, do you want to go back to your TV and change the channel manually? You want to do that? You want to play with the antenna and get the aluminum foil and put it on one end and put it on the other?
I think they would probably want their land back compared to somebody renaming a freaking stadium team. Well, I'm just saying.
Brother. Can we be realistic?
Let's be realistic, okay?
They ain't getting land.
They gonna get their land back.
They ain't getting the land back. You know what America did to them, okay? And it's not too nice.
It's
and
not nice.
Years later, hey, you know what? We'll throw them a couple casinos and call it.
Yeah, we'll throw a couple casinos. Oh, and we'll rename the Commanders. They'll make up for all the atrocities that America has put on their people.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, America. Y'all know what you done.
So with that being said, Dallas Cowboys, Washington Commanders are a 13-point home underdog.
They're terrible.
Okay, let's put it this way. Dallas has to try and win to stay ahead of Philadelphia.
Yeah, we do.
So they're coming to play.
Yeah, we're definitely coming to play.
Washington is going back to Sam Howell for this.
Oh, hell no. Give me the Cowboys.
To cover the 13? 13.
Yeah.
13.
13, divisional game on the road. Washington can't stop a nosebleed. Give me my boys, man.
We're in agreement.
Their defense. They gave up on Ron Rivera, man. They gave up. And you got Sam Howell leads the league in interceptions. Yeah. I'm good. You feel me? Yeah.
All right.
Give me a chance to win our division. Yeah.
To this point, we've only disagreed on one game, and it was the first game. Maybe we could disagree on the last game. 8:20 NBC. The Buffalo Bills travel to the Miami Dolphins. Miami is a home 3-point underdog.
I'm going with the hottest team right now, Buffalo Bills. Jackie
Oh
doing
my
it.
goodness. Oh my goodness. We are
And
in
they
a
can win a division? Oh man, yeah.
They win this. Buffalo wins this game. They win a division, and they
And they're
get
the
the
second
number
seed.
2 seed.
Yeah.
2
You gotta
seed.
go to Buffalo the first week.
A team that a month and a half ago, everyone said out of the playoffs.
Out of playoffs.
Now can be the number 2 seed.
Second seed. Hey,
And I think they can beat. I think if they play Baltimore in Baltimore, they can beat them. I'm not saying they'll be favored, but I think for sure they are a live dog to play.
So that means you got Pittsburgh winning that last game, correct?
Yes.
So that means Pittsburgh plays Buffalo. Because they'll be the 8th seed or 7th seed, won't they? It's gonna be between them and they'll be the 7th seed.
They'll be the 7th seed, and
which card will be the 6th seed, right?
Is it Houston?
No, Houston. Whoever wins that division,
they're not going to win. Jacksonville's probably going to win the division.
Okay, so you got Houston coming in at the 7th spot because they'll both have no. So
no, there would be 6.
Houston would be. Will they be 6 or 7?
Who has the better record, Houston or Pittsburgh?
I know Pittsburgh is 9-7 now. I know so they'll be 10-7. It might be Pittsburgh, but then it's going to be Houston because Houston beat Pittsburgh. So if they was tied, it's going to be Houston.
What team am I missing in the AFC?
You got Miami. Miami's going to be the 5th seed though.
Yeah, Miami's getting in.
Yeah, Miami's getting in. So
yeah,
Miami,
they're going to be 5.
They'll be 5.
They'll be 5.
So 5, Houston at 6, and
so wait a minute. So if Miami's 5, then that means the very following week Miami's going to go to Buffalo?
No, they're going to go to what's called Jacksonville.
What? Why Jacksonville?
No, because they're going to be the 6th seed. Miami going to be the 6th seed, right?
No, I think Miami's going to be 5th.
No, because Cleveland will be the 5th seed.
Cleveland will be 5th.
Yeah, so Cleveland plays Jacksonville. Cleveland will play Jacksonville.
Cleveland will kill Jacksonville.
Miami's going to go play the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Yep.
And then Houston will play at Buffalo.
It's either between Houston or Pittsburgh. Those are 2 teams is on the 7th spot. So if Houston wins, right?
They're in. If Houston wins, they're in.
And
if Pittsburgh wins, they need help from the Colts, right?
Yeah, they need the Colts. The Colts have to beat the Texans. If the Texans win,
but wait a minute, are the Colts eliminated? Aren't they still alive?
I'm gonna check right now, brother, because I know it's. They're still mathematically alive. All right, boom. So right now, standings, playoffs. Okay, let's talk about it. Now I got the proof. Okay, right now, Indianapolis is at that 7th spot, but it's a tie between them and Houston and Pittsburgh. So they're all tied at that 7th spot, 9-7, right? Cleveland's at the 5th. Miami's going to be the 6th. So, like I said before, between Houston, Pittsburgh, and Indianapolis. If Houston wins, they're in because they beat Pittsburgh.
Got it.
If they lose, Pittsburgh is in due to the division, I believe, because they have a better win in their division. Because they're both tied.
For the Colts to make it, they got to win, and they need Baltimore to beat.
They told me the percentage. I'm gonna break it down for you. Can I talk to you, America, real quick?
Let's go. Let's hear. We want to hear it.
Win, ties. Let me see. And this is for the Colts. Win, tie, break over Pittsburgh based on head-to-head win percentage. Division, the break was initially used to eliminate Houston. Indianapolis wins the break over Houston based on head-to-head win percentage. Wins, tie, break over Pittsburgh based on the head-to-head percentage. Wins, tie, break over Cincinnati based on the bell. No, that's a. So basically, Yeah, so if the Colts win, the Colts win. The Colts are in.
If the Colts win, they're in. If Houston wins, they're in. If
But they
Pittsburgh
can't win. Houston
wins,
can't win.
but there's a way Pittsburgh can get in. If they win, there's a way they can get in because I heard that they're still mathematically still in it. Isn't it? Isn't it? If Houston wins, they're in no matter what. If the Colts win, they need Pittsburgh to lose to
Yeah,
make it in it. And if Pittsburgh wins, they
and
need
they
Houston.
need. I don't think they can get in unless they need the Colts to lose.
No, because then if the Colts lost, then Houston would get in.
Right. So I don't think Pittsburgh can get in.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I heard this week they're not mathematically eliminated. I heard if they win, they need help.
They definitely need help. But I don't see where the help is going to come from because the teams that they need to, unless Jacksonville loses, that's how they would get in. That's how they would get in. That's how they would get in.
If Jacksonville loses,
that means that the winner of Indiana and Houston is going to win that division. So that means that team is going to end up being the 4th seed. Okay? So Pittsburgh will end up being the
with no wild card from that division. So
yeah,
Pittsburgh would
no
be
wild card for that division. So Pittsburgh will get in. Yeah, that's how it got to go. So Jacksonville will have to lose to Tennessee. That's how Pittsburgh gets in.
Which could happen.
Which could happen.
Jacksonville loses. They not only not win the division, they don't make the playoffs. They're not even a wild card. And unless Pittsburgh loses, right? If Pittsburgh loses,
have to lose to Baltimore for the Colts for Jacksonville to get in. So if Pittsburgh win, then Pittsburgh is in because they'll be 10-7, and Jacksonville will be 9-8.
It's very confusing.
Very confusing. Thank you, America, for Gil and Larry breaking it down for you. Now you know.
Before we cut the show off, anything else that you want to add to the show that you want to let America know about? Any show, movie, game interest?
Before I end up, man, for a good show that y'all need to watch, man, I've been watching Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Great show. I love it. I love shows that show the reality. I like things that are real. Like it seemed like it's real. Yeah, it's still monsters, but it seemed like it could be in real time. But the guy's going through Jersey, bro. He's going through Trenton. Can you believe that? Going to Trenton. Can you believe that?
The neighborhood.
And they made Medusa actually look like, we always see Medusa in this crazy looking form. She's like a regular female. She'd have got me. I'd have been stoned. Should have got me. She sounded cute. I'm saying she'd have got me. I'm just saying. And the bookie, I like the bookie too that you recommended. Very good show.
Yeah, that was
very good show.
That was good.
And we got for the future, America. We got some things coming in soon. We're gonna start branching out more to the entertainment. I know we've been doing our sports, but we are a sports and entertainment show. So now we're gonna start implementing a lot of the things that we like, as far as even food reviews. I might have some recipes I want y'all to try out. Definitely some shows you need to be checking out. Just everyday stuff. We're about to expand our palette, so it's just not just sports. You see the man got Thor, Marvel behind him. I'm a Marvel fan. I'm a Star Wars man. It's a lot, man. I'm a horror man. I'm a lot of men. 3 men and a baby. Let's go. And yourself?
Two things for me. One, when we were talking about college football, I could have brought this up, but we went into the NFL. I figured I'll bring it up at the end. I don't want to hear anybody from Florida State crying about not making playoffs. They were a big underdog to Georgia, and instead of showing the world why they believe that they deserve to have been in the top 4, they waved the white flag and said, we're not playing our guys. Instead of going out there and giving it your all, they said, we're not even going out there.
No.
And they lost by $1 trillion.
No.
$1 trillion.
We didn't make it.
I don't want to hear it.
We didn't make it.
You disgrace your university. Everyone from the Florida State should be ashamed of themselves. Ashamed of themselves. And I tell you this. If Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, was the head coach of Florida State, this wouldn't have happened.
That's a fact.
There ain't no way he would have laid down. No way. Say what you want about Deion, like him, don't like him, everything in between. He would not have laid down like these people did. Disrespectful. Not the way you represent college football. Not the way you represent those kids and your organization. Bunch of crybabies waving the white flag. You know what? You could have went out there and lost and said, hey, listen, our starting quarterback, this is what the best that we had without our starting quarterback. And no one would have said crap about it. But because you cried about not making the Final Four and you went out and did this, shame on you. Shame on you. Maybe Alabama shouldn't have got that last spot. But one thing's for sure, it shouldn't have been you. Undefeated, not undefeated anymore. Shame on you. That's number one. Number two, a personal thing. You might have noticed that I'm wearing this old school Chicago Bears starter jacket. I had this exact jacket when I was a sophomore in high school back in 1992. Shortly, it was a Christmas present. I had it for a month. And it got stolen out of my locker.
Oh, man.
Back when I was in high school.
Sorry to hear that, bro. Sorry to hear that.
Stolen. Broke my heart. I was scared to death to tell my father because he got this for me. Needless to say, he eventually found out. He was none too pleased about it. I have not seen this jacket, and I go on NFL Shop all the time throughout the year, and I buy a lot of stuff. I have not seen this jacket until I stumbled upon a replica site that does sporting memorabilia stuff off of Facebook, and I found it. I stumbled on it. I found it. I had to get it just out of principle. I had to get it. I've waited 32 years to replace that jacket. 32 years. Summer of 1992. Not summer, sorry. Winter of 1992. A month after Christmas. Winter of 2024. I finally got it back. Sometimes you got to wait a little longer, but things have a way of coming back around to you.
They definitely do, my brother.
They definitely do.
For a year of prosperity, America. Get on the wagon, baby. There's gonna be a lot of good things happening this year. I promise you.
Don't give up on the dream, and the dream won't give up on you.
I like that one, brother. I put that in my arsenal.
Yep, you can have that. I give it to you.
Well, thank you.
That is our show, America. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. Check us out next Wednesday. It'll be after Black Monday, and we're going to know who's still employed and who isn't as far as the NFL head coaching tree goes. For my main man, Larry Loper, I'm Gil Irizarry. Enjoy the weekend. Stay healthy. Be good to your pets. After all, you're all that they know, and you're all that they have. Thank you so much. Deuces, y'all.
My man. 100 grand.